I read the book, The YouTube Formula, and these were my key takeaways from the book. So these are all my lessons from the book. I don't know if you can see it, but there are a lot. Regardless of how many other things he touched on in the book that were so valuable, I want to just focus on a few things that I feel like you can start applying today and possibly actually start seeing results. So he spoke about thumbnails. Of course, everyone talks about thumbnails, but he was a little more specific than most people on the internet. When speaking about thumbnails, he told us to specifically use colors that pop, and that makes a lot of sense. Human beings like shiny things. When it comes to words on your thumbnails, he said you can actually do without words, but if you were to use words only when necessary. And this is like, for a wordsmith like me, I love words. It's like, this was such a hard pill to swallow. But yes, he said use words only when necessary. He said use emotion, meaning smiling excessively or showing some shocking facial expression or just something that shows any form of emotion, even if it's like a sad emotion. The reason is because this creates curiosity in your viewers. However, the caveat here is you have to be honest. If your thumbnail is popping and has all these crazy facial expressions, and then your title has all these words that spark curiosity, and then someone clicks on the video and what you put in your thumbnail and in your title is not what you're saying in your video, this will make people to click off as fast as they can, and this will hurt your view duration. And of course, this will prevent YouTube from pushing out your video. Another major thing that will help you is your description, the description box. Apparently, and this is vital information, some of the first things that you should put in your description should be in line with the words in your title or should be relevant keywords. So basically, your description helps you to rank in search. It helps people to find you. The words you use in your description box, they are very important. And I did not know this because before in my description box, I would just put follow me on Instagram. But you should also write about what you're going to be talking about in your video, in your description box, because it will help the algorithm know who you are talking about and push the video to them. If you want to put like suggested videos or you want to put your Instagram page and all those other stuff, let it come after you have maximized the first part of your description box for your keywords. He also spoke about your cards and your end screens. So basically, you know how when you watch a video through to the end, at the end, there is like suggested videos. That's a very important tool that the algorithm can use to know which videos to suggest to a viewer after they're done watching one of your videos. So if, for example, people click on the video in the end screen, then when someone goes to watch that video, for example, it's going to be under the box of YouTube suggestions to that viewer. There is also a caveat here. If you're going to be using the cards are the ones that appear at the top of the screen while the video is still going on. If you're going to make use of that, do not make this mistake of putting it early on in the video. I have made this mistake before. Put it at the end of the video so that people don't click on the card and leave that video, because it's going to hurt your average view duration. This is not good for you. Now, this is the one that a lot of people focus on, but apparently they are not as relevant as people think they are. And that is tags. Apparently, tags are less important than your description. They are not as important as your thumbnail. They are not as important as your title. In fact, they're only relevant for words that are often misspelled. So let's say someone, for example, spelled a word wrongly when they were searching for something on YouTube. If it is in your tags, that is the word that is often misspelled, then it will then appear in search. So it is useful, but just not as important as your thumbnail, your title, and your description. So for your tags, use only keywords or relevant words. Don't use things that are not relevant to what you're doing. I made this mistake too. But yeah, and try to stay under 300 characters in your tags. Now let's move to the next one, which is a bit difficult for people, but it also helps so much, and that is collaborations. I mean, the Bible says one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000. So I can see why this is a very valuable advice. Under this section, he gave examples with people that do not have as much a following, and then they leveraged the accounts of those who have more of a following, and they also offered something in return. So it's not like they're just taking, they're also giving something in exchange. But because they leveraged the platform of that bigger influencer, it helped them, and it also helped that influencer as well, because there was something they got from the relationship as well. When somebody is popular and they recommend someone else, that will most definitely help that other creator, because of course, even if it's just a shout out, people trust this creator. So they're like, if they're shouting out this other creator, let me go and check them out. Now, this is one that I am beginning to leverage a lot more often these days, and that is your community tab. So when you put out a video, some of your viewers may not get notified. However, if you make use of your community tab and you link that video, there is a very strong chance that when they go on YouTube and they see your community tab, they will be able to just click on the link and watch that video. So make good use of your community tab. And it is also helpful to note that whatever you post on your community tab doesn't just show on the home feed of your subscribers. Whatever you post there would also show on the home feed of non-subscribers. So take advantage of it. And last but definitely not least, he said something that I want to read verbatim. He said, I wanted to know why some content performed well and some fell flat on its face. It taught me to have an eye for patterns that worked. I began noticing that content from certain brands or people worked almost every time. So I looked deeper to figure out why. Of course, it mattered that the videos were made well, but I also discovered that what mattered most had less to do with the video itself and more to do with who was watching it. When content was built around a loyal community, it consistently performed better than content that wasn't. And this is a hard pill to swallow for creators that consistently pursue the numbers, pursue connection, pursue engagement, because according to him, beyond all these physical things you can do, if you don't have a connection with your audience, then some content will do well and some will not. Some will just fall flat on its face. So to ensure that your videos consistently do well, prioritize connection over numbers. Prioritize building a community over going viral. If you've not yet subscribed, kindly click on that subscribe button. And if this video was valuable to you in any way, kindly give this video a thumbs up. Kindly like this video. And you can also check out this video right here. See you there.